Hello, I'm Jordan, you're not, and this is my review on Roger Corman's The Little Shop of Horrors. And no, this isn't the musical remake version from the 1980s, you silly old Willie. This is the original version that was released in 1960, and it was only filmed in 2 days. So our hero is Seymour, who works at Mushnick's flower shop. So Seymour is a wimpy mama's boy who can't do anything right. So for that reason, Mushnick fires him, like Donald Trump did on The Apprentice. You're fired. Crap, now I'm gonna get a bunch of hate mail. So there's a customer there at the flower shop. It's the actor Dick Miller, who you might remember from The Terminator and Gremlins, and actually that's about it. So his character, he eats the flowers. Like he just starts randomly, oh, I just eat these for lunch, and he just starts taking all the flowers. Just, and then you start to realize that this isn't meant to be taken seriously at all whatsoever. So Seymour begs Mushnick for his job back. So he tells him that he's working on this new plant and he wants to try to make the flower shop great again. So he brings it in, this plant, and he names it Audrey Jr. in honor of his girlfriend, not his girlfriend yet, but this girl that he likes there at the shop. And then that night, Seymour's there, and the plant just starts, and then he accidentally cuts his finger, and then you can tell that the plant is thirsty for blood. And so then the next day, the plant has grown a little bit, and the flower shop becomes super hella popular. And then later the next night, Seymour goes out, or the plant's hungry again, or he's hungry, and then he's like, feed me, and he talks, and he goes, he's at like a railroad station, and he accidentally kills a guy. And then he's, oh no! And then he accidentally cuts his body up and then he feeds it to the plant, which he finds delicious. So then later he goes to the dentist. His name's Dr. Farb. Farb. So he has a toothache, and then the Dr. Farb is like a psychotic dentist. Like he's a psychopath. He likes giving people pain. He's like, and then so Seymour, then he goes into the room with him, and then they start randomly fighting each other for whatever reason, like with their dentist supplies, and so then Seymour has to protect himself, but then he stabs Dr. Farb. Yeah. And then he gets, another patient comes in. It's an actor, you probably haven't heard of him. His name is Jack Nicholson, who was in movies like Stanley Kubrick's The Shining or Tim Burton's Batman, but they're not too popular, so you probably haven't seen them. And he's really weird too. He has like this fetish for pain. Like he wants to get hurt, like during his appointment. Like he doesn't want no Novocaine or no pain relief or nothing. Like, and then so Seymour has to pretend to be the dentist to do this. Like because the other dentist, he did as shit. So then he goes through all the pain, and then he comes out and his mouth looks like he's like a meth head from Kentucky. So yeah, do I really gotta be the one to say this? Damn, Jack Nicholson, what that mouth do? Okay, so then we go to meet Sergeant Joe Fink, Fink. Yeah, that Fink. Who's actually it's a ripoff of Dragnet, which is a show from the 1950s starring Jack Webb, and his name was Joe Friday, which actually that's one of my dad's favorite shows, Dragnet. So his partner is Stooley. I think his name was Stooley. They have this they start talking great about this, having like conversation, and then Fink says, "Oh, how you doing? How are your kids?" And then Stooley's like, "Oh, one of them died. Yeah, he was playing with matches. Yeah, he's lost to us." And then the other guy's like, tough times, huh? That's tough." Like, your kid just died, and you're gonna be like, whatever, just blow it off. Like, that's terrible. Like, who even talks like that? Like, if my kid just died, I wouldn't be even going to work the next day. I'd probably be dead on the inside for the rest of my life. And then he's just like, whatever. Tough break. Terrible. So then, okay, back to the plant. The plant keeps getting bigger and it develops cottonmouth. And so around this time, this is when Seymour finally hooks up with Audrey. And he takes her on their first date to his mom's house. Because that's what girls like, right? Yeah. And so then they go on another date, and it's there at the flower shop. And he comes off as, like, it's really awkward. Like, the plant starts talking, and he pretends to be a ventriloquist like Jeff Dunham. And then he's, like, pretending to be the ventriloquist, and she thinks he's talking, and she just gets, like, she gets so offended. Like, she just leaves. She dumps him just for that reason. Damn, girl. So then he goes out and he finds a hooker named Leonore Clyde. So Leonore, she starts randomly popping up just everywhere. Like he's trying to walk around the street, or actually the plant hypnotizes Seymour. Like the plant's like, close your eyes. And he does it, and you are asleep. Then now wake up. Now go out and find me someone to eat. And then he's just hypnotized just like that. Okay. So that's when he goes out and finds Leonore, the hooker. I guess she's a hooker. You know, she never actually says that she is, but we just assume that she is because she looks like one. That's offensive. So he kills her, and then he takes her back to the flower shop. And that's when the police kind of come by. Sorry for that long pause right there. I had to gather my thoughts. It's really hard to do this, by the way. This has been the hardest review I've ever had to do. You don't even know. Like, in the 9 or 10 years that I've done reviews, this is by far one of the toughest. So if I come off as awkward, I am sorry. And I'm trying to get everything crammed in my brain out onto you. So then the next day, the plant is huge. And then the police come to the flower shop. And that's when they realize, the plant starts, these pods kind of start popping out, and they look like the faces of the people that the plants have been eaten. And that's when they realize, Seymour's been feeding people to this plant. So then they chase him down with this really weird, awkward chase scene. And then they end up in a tire place, or like a place full of tires, and there's like toilets around everywhere. And so then somehow Seymour makes it back to the flower shop, and he has a showdown with the plant, with Audrey Jr. And so he climbs into the plant's mouth, and he has these scissors, like he's gonna start cutting it while it's eating it. You know that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, when Jack Sparrow's like the Kraken is like right there with his mouth there, and Jack's like, "Hello, beastie," and he has like his sword. He's gonna trying to take him down, like then while it's eating him. It's kind of like that. Like, this is the sword, this is the Kraken. That's how the last scene was with Seymour and Audrey Jr. So yeah, Seymour gets eaten. Spoilers. So, in all, yeah, I really like this movie. I mean, this one's always been my favorite compared to the musical remake, and I give this a B+. So, I'm going to post the link to the movie is actually on YouTube. So I'm going to post the link down here on my channel, or my wall, where you can find it if you actually want to watch the movie. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, give me some comments. And if you haven't subscribed to me yet, do it. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching, and take care. Okay, baby, now we're alone. What's up? You look so sexy.
Feed me.
No, girl. I'm all the man you need right here.
I'm hungry.
Why are you so hungry? You're like, ugh. That's so offensive. What, you trying to, ow! Did you try to bite me?
Yeah?
What'd you do that for?
I'm hungry.
You're so violent. I honestly blame video games. This is... Nothing's happening here.